Yo, what's up, everybody? Chewy89 coming to you today. We got another One Piece review, and this time it's One Piece chapter 1059. I feel like I'm waiting forever for this chapter, man. Oda with these breaks, man. Come on. I know you got to take your breaks, man. You need your time off, man. Hey, you write a wonderful story, man. You keep on delivering. If you guys can't do me a favor, like down below, comment down below, give me your thoughts on this chapter. Subscribe to the channel. What more One Piece content coming up? And yeah, let's get to this right away. This chapter is everything I could have asked for. Listen, my favorite part of One Piece is like getting to the outside world and after an arc, see the consequences of see what comes out of what Luffy's done or whatever's going on, or in side stories outside the One Piece world, because they're so good. The world building and where everything's moving and other characters and what they're doing is insane. Like, I love the attention to detail and everything that Oda's doing. It's just crazy. And the cover story I think is finally coming to an end, because Caesar uses gas and now Oven and Katakuri are punching each other basically. So I guess that's how the German is going to get away. But let me tell you something. So in the beginning of this chapter, we find out Marco's on Shanks' ship. And here's the thing. I thought from back in the day when Shanks asked Marco to join his crew, I thought later on down the line Marco was going to join his crew, whatever in the future. And he asks again, and he says no. And basically Marco's tired of babysitting for great pirates and all that stuff and being a number two. It's very exhausting. He feels old. And right now he just wants to protect Whitebeard's home island, because no one's protecting it right now. I still think Weevil's going to get out there and try to do something to Marco, which is unfortunate. But yeah, he doesn't want to join. He took a ride from Shanks' ship, and of course, everybody's, Shanks is like, I'm not a handful, man. Take it easy. Everybody's like, yeah, okay, dude, stop, Shanks. You're ridiculous. All right, stop. So, then we cut back to Wano, and then we finally get Yamato's reason for not leaving. Basically Yamato's gonna stay, and it's unfortunate. I wanted Yamato to be a part of the crew, but you know what? After reading this, it's understandable. And the other thing is too, like, I should have caught on to this when they were mentioning, what's gonna happen to Wano once everybody here leaves. Like, who's gonna protect it, right? And Green Bull made a really good point. Like, Kaido was here, and nobody wanted to touch Wano because he was here. So basically, that's Yamato's reason. Like, Yamato wants to be the reason, wants to protect this place from invaders from coming in, like Green Bull or whatever. And it's a good decision, right? They really don't have any. I mean, granted, the Akazai 9 are really, really strong, but I mean, Yamato's like, she's ridiculous, right? So from there, that's pretty much it. You know what I mean? Like, just wants to protect the country and protect everybody until, they feel like they can protect the country on their own. Now, maybe in the future, maybe Yamato just shows up and whatever. Who knows, right? But yeah, it's a good reason. I think they should have shown this in Wano, though, not now. But we got the flashback. It's fine. It is what it is. And of course we find out that Yamato made up a reason why Yamato wanted to stay, which was like, oh, I want to travel around Wano and be just like Oda, then I'll go out to sea. And the reason why Yamato's doing that is because, he doesn't want to hurt Momonosuke's pride, and Zoro does mention that. So that's cool right there. I love it. So now it's all come together. Now it all makes sense, rather than just like, I want to be Odin. That's not how Odin's travel started, to be honest with you. But now we know. So that's really good. I've closed the chapter on your Yamato thing, joining the crew. It doesn't matter how popular Yamato is, not coming along. Got it. Done. We're finished with this. I finally can close that chapter of my life. And then Marco shows up and says he's going to be on, telling them, hey, thank you. I'm going to head out. I saw a ship nearby, which is Shanks' ship. He's going to board a ride. They're going to take a ride there and get back to Whitebeard's island. And, they have some flashbacks of them, of Marco saving Luffy at Marineford and Luffy thanking him for that. And, running into Jinbei as well. And, just, basically closing the chapter here, thanking everybody and acknowledging everything. And, basically the end of Wano, we're ready to move on. And from there, Marco's story, he goes and flies over to Whitebeard's island. Hopefully nothing happens there. Hopefully Weevil's not there. I don't think so. I don't think Weevil knows anything about Whitebeard's island, but I still think that's a story that's going to happen. So now we cut to Amazon Lily, which is interesting. I had no idea we were going to get to Amazon Lily at all. Because we're going to find out what happened to the Shichibukai, right? I mean, Dracula Mihawk has joined Cross Guild. Buggy's joined Cross Guild, so that's two of the warlords. And from there, I think we still have Weevil to find out what happened there. And I think I'm missing some others, but Bull is one of them. So we finally cut to the Amazon Lily here, and we find out the island's in bad shape. It's been attacked. And from what we see here is, right now, Bo is okay. She's got some bandages on her, but something happened, between the Marines or whatever. And, of course, she thinks that she should go marry Luffy and it will solve all these problems. Well, you know what? Luffy's got, listen, Boa Hancock, man, Luffy marry her tomorrow, okay? But then we cut to a few weeks prior, and the Marines are attacking Amazon Lily, and the Kuja pirates are resisting. Everybody's fighting. They're going at each other, and they're deploying the new pacifistas, which is the G7 or whatever the hell Fujitora called it from back in the day. And they're called the Seraphims. And from here, they're going in and attacking, and they want Hancock to come out. So this is the Marines displaying their new weapon and the reason why they don't need a warlord system. Okay, this is their reasoning for it. And we finally get to see them, and we see one of them, they say, one, it's a child. Okay, so, some child experimentation. That's kind of weird. And from what we see right now, there's a fire around them. And it looks like a female, right? And wings and fire. And immediately, Lunarians. I'm like, these are Lunarians. So the experimentation that was done years ago on King or whoever, they could have had a ton of other Lunarians, but they had King in custody. Looks like their experiment, looks like Vegapunk finally completed whatever he was trying to do with Lunarians. And for some reason, they want the power of the Lunarian. Like, if it feels like, I can't wait to get the backstory on Lunarians, because what the hell, like, it seems like they're really strong, and they were a force from back in the day, like, because they're not around anymore. They're gone. There's only a few left, being King, right? He's probably the only one. Maybe there's others, I don't know, because the government really has an inkling. They'll give you $1 million just to bring one in, or just to tell someone that you found a Lunarian. Like, that's insane. Like, imagine the money they give you for bringing one in. So I want to know what's going on there. So of course they're attacking. They're doing a lot of work. There's a new pacifista, and then they spotted a warship, and guess who it is? Blackbeard shows up. This is what he wants to do. He wants to take Boa Hancock's power. He does a sea quake and just messes up the Marine ships and all this stuff. And he came with Vasco's shot. And, oh my God, I can't remember her name now. Doesn't matter. Catalina Devine. That's who she is. And, of course, Blackbeard's not going to let the stone power go to waste. He doesn't want the Marines to capture her, and then it goes away for good. So Blackbeard wants this power. End of discussion, right? So, of course, Catalina Devine, loves that she's gorgeous and all that stuff, and wants to wring her neck. And, of course, Vasco Shot being a weirdo, wants to do things to her while she's alive. And it's like, okay, they're apparently evil, right? Apparently Blackbeard's evil, and we all know this. So, of course, they're reporting in that Blackbeard is here, and, they want to hear from headquarters before they do anything. And Blackbeard's just wrecking face and destroying everybody. And, Kobe's with Boa Hancock. It looks like he's doing battle there with her. And he wants her to surrender. And he's like, listen, you surrender, you leave with me, we will get the hell out of here. We're not here for everybody else. We're not here to harm anybody. We just want you. Just come with us where you're going. And, of course, Boa Hancock's not going to surrender to anybody at all and be put back in captivity and all that. Hell no. No way. You know what I'm saying? She's not going to submit. So then she walks out. And, of course, the other thing is that's happening here, as Boa Hancock's walking out, Blackbeard is hearing from his people that, to save them. And they're noticing they're getting wrecked by the new pacifista. And he goes out and he goes, white hair, brown skin, black wings. So he knows what a Lunarian is too. So he must have saw one back in the day. Dude, Blackbeard, I can't wait to get Blackbeard's backstory. It seems like he knows everything about everything. And I wouldn't be shocked if he's like Zebek or something. It's just, he knows so much, right? He knows so much about everything. And he's connecting the dots, and he's like, what the hell's going on here? Like, what are they doing? So then you finally see the pacifista, and then the pacifista goes and does an attack. And it looks like Now that I'm looking at this, hold on a minute here. Wait a minute. Is that Zoro or is that... I think that's Mihawk. That's a kid that looks like Mihawk. One of the pacifistas looks like Mihawk. I just caught this just now. Holy shit. And here's the thing. Blackbeard's shocked this kid took down ourselves. But that looks like Mihawk. Don't tell me that. Okay, we're going to... At the end of this, we're going to talk and give you my thoughts on the pacifistas. So then, of course, Blackbeard's like PX whatever. And he cuts part of the island. And, who knows what happens there. And, he doesn't know what's going on. And the pacifista attacks Blackbeard. He does arm in hockey. And, Blackbeard's like, this is huge. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is crazy. And he does a black hole and just basically, like, tries to take the pacifista down, but, like, takes down the rest of the island. And, of course, Boa Hancock's doing their attacks, turning everybody to stone. Helmeppo's turned to stone. Yeah, Makiji's turned to stone. Of course, they all love Hancock because she's hot. And, they're like, hey, pacifista, stop that. You know what I mean? Like, this is Kobe giving orders to pacifista. You need to chill out. Listen to my orders. Stop. And as that's happening, Blackbeard shows up. And, of course, Catalina Devine, who's pretty in love with Hancock, so is Vasco shot, turned them into stone. I mean, her power is broken. Anyway, on Boa Hancock, it's like 10 times broken. But turning people to stone and just, like, they're done, like, it's a broken superpower. So then Blackbeard, of course, using the black, the darkness fruit, pulls in Boa Hancock, grabs her by the neck, starts squeezing her. And he's like, I see them call you an empress for nothing. Then we finally see Boa Hancock's bounty, which is $1.659 billion. And then we see Blackbeard's new bounty, which is $3.996 billion, went up. Him being an emperor and everything that happened or whatever. And, of course, Blackbeard's like, I've had my eye on your power. He's going out and trying to grab devil fruits that are really powerful for whatever reason. Doesn't really explain it, but it is what it is. And, of course, Hancock, like, my beauty makes this power formidable, which is true. Like, everybody, like, looks at Hancock, like, man, she's beautiful. And then, boom, you're done. And, of course, she mentions that if you kill me, everybody remains a statue forever. So, if you're in a lose-lose situation. You kill me, I can't... everybody stays a stone. If you let me go, I'll release them and let them go. You know what I'm saying? And here's the thing. So, Blackbeard's listening to this, and of course, Colby is like acknowledging Hancock, like being like this smart. You know what I'm saying? Like giving Blackbeard an ultimatum because it's a really good decision. Because here's the thing. Blackbeard's like, and of course, we get some inside information here. About the Rocky Port incident where Colby became a hero, whatever the case may be, and he did him a favor, and that made it possible for him to oust Ochoko and become the boss of the Pirate Island. So whoever was there at the time holding it gave Blackbeard the opportunity to do that. So I want to see more of the Rocky Port incident now and what happened there. So apparently that helped Blackbeard. Now that's interesting. So Kobe, like he owes Kobe something here too. So of course, Blackbeard's not stupid. He's like, if I unhand this woman, she might change everybody back to normal, but then turn me into stone. And he can't have that. So he's like, I'm just going to kill you. And just basically start squeezing her like even tighter and ready to kill her. And ready to just squeeze every last bit of life out of her. And then from there, take her devil fruit and be done with it, right? He doesn't think he can resist her charms. You know what I'm saying? So that's a smart man right there. Blackbeard, being intelligent. But he's like, yeah, I got to kill you. And, Kobe's like, don't throw all those lives away. And here comes the man, the myth, the legend, Silver's King, Rayleigh, here to save the day because he heard everything that was going on. He wants to protect Amazon Lily. So he came and showed up, and he's like, listen. He's like, I really don't like you, Blackbeard. And his eyes, let me tell you something, Blackbeard's eyes were like, oh, my God. Like, Rayleigh's here? He's like, dude, this is going to suck. And I don't have my crew or anything like that. He is kind of terrified. And Rayleigh still has a very, very commanding, like, hockey, too. You know what I'm saying? So Blackbeard's face is just like, oh, my God. And he's all like, listen. He's all like, he's like, Hancock, release everybody has been turned to stone. I'm going to make sure this de-escalates, right? And everybody will leave. They're going to get the hell out of here, or they're going to have to deal with me. Right? And we cut to present day, and everybody survived, right? It was all thanks to Rayleigh. you know, they're talking about everything that's going on, and they're like, the Calm Belt isn't safe anymore because Vegapunk built some paddlestone, sea stone ships that can get across the Calm Belt and all that stuff. And they're talking about the new Navy weapons and Blackbeard's arrival. You know, they thought they were finished. You know what I mean? Amazon only thought they were finished. You know, Boa Hancock thought so as well. They can't handle the Marines and Blackbeard together. And he goes, and Rayleigh's being honest. He's like, dude, we got lucky. He's like, he gambled there on that one. Because if Blackbeard probably decided to fight, he would have lost. And Rayleigh understands that he's older now and probably can't handle Blackbeard. So basically, off of his reputation and presence alone, he was able to de-escalate the situation quickly. So that's really cool. That's really awesome. You know, and here's the thing too. So we find out something else here too. So from the sounds of it, the Navy are looking to replace the 7 warlords with these new weapons, which is what we heard about. And you know, the other thing that was bizarre was that the other pacifista looked just like Boa Hancock. So one looked like Mihawk, one looked like Hancock. Okay, but they were kids basically. And, you know, this is crazy. We're going to get to this at the end of this chapter. I'm going to give you my thoughts on this, and then we'll wrap this chapter up right now. So then we hear from the Marines HQ that Kobe's been kidnapped, and they don't know his current status at the moment. They just know he's been kidnapped, and Blackbeard has him. What he's going to use him for, I don't know. Maybe make a deal with the Marines. Maybe try to get his hands on one of these pacifistas or something. Maybe that's what he does. Maybe he's like, hey, listen, I'll trade you Kobe for a pacifista so I can make him my 10 Titanic captain, right? Maybe that's the case. I don't know. But here's the thing. That's a chapter. Wonderful chapter. Oda, you're amazing. Great chapter. Love it. Amazing. Everything in it was great. Let's be done with that. 5 out of 5 chapter. Let's get to the pacifistas, okay? Here's my headcanon. I personally think that they combined the Lunarian DNA with the DNA of certain pirates and created basically these super soldier Lunarian people. Now, these are all kids, okay? So maybe they activated, okay, here's my thinking. They had the DNA of the Lunarians and the 7 warlords or something. It seems like they had the DNA of the 7 warlords. So that means it's a possibility that there's a Doflamingo. There's a possibility that there's a Blackbeard. There's maybe, I don't know. Possibility that there's a Crocodile. Obviously Kuma, right? Whatever. Maybe other pirates. Maybe Ace. Maybe Luffy, right? Whatever. So what I think what Vegapunk is doing is creating these kids from scratch, basically maybe having an embryo or whatever, and these embryos, you know, okay. How I'm trying to think of this is he's basically making kids with an embryo, with DNA, and combining it with Lunarian DNA. And basically raising them from babies all the way till they're adults. Now, maybe the process happens faster, and maybe this happened over a span of a couple of years, and all of a sudden they're these kids and whatever, right? And, you know, maybe they activated these a little too early. Maybe Vegapunk was waiting for them to become adults so that they could be at their full potential and go out and start wreaking havoc, basically. But that's my idea. I think Vegapunk has this way to create life, and he's using that with the Lunarian DNA, with the DNA of current pirates who are well-known and powerful, like a Boa Hancock, like a Mihawk. That other one looked like Mihawk. That was insane. I just caught that just now on the reread. That other one looks like Mihawk. That's insane. So there's possibly a baby Dofi, possibly a baby Luffy, Ace, what? It doesn't matter. Because as long as Vegapunk has the DNA of these pirates, he can just recreate them and just make them Lunarians and make them OP, basically. But why Lunarians? Right? Why Lunarians? And it's interesting because they're called Seraphims. And I was reading the definition of a seraphim. Now, let me look it up again here. Okay. There are, I think, protectors of God, I believe, and I could be wrong here. A six-winged beast that fly around the throne of God, crying, "Holy, holy, holy." That is one of the definitions of a seraphim, or whatever. So I read that, and I'm thinking, okay, six-winged beast. Obviously, they don't have, they just got regular wings, okay, that hover around the throne of God, which is basically Emu, and crying, "Holy, holy, holy," basically like, praising Emu and stuff like that. So I think these things were meant to protect Emu and all that stuff. And there's so much, like, the fact that Vegapunk did this, I can't wait to get the backstory on this. One, why Lunarians? Two, the other thing is, too, is this the thing that Vegapunk and Judge were working on back in the day, which then leads into, I already think Sanji is part Lunarian because of the fire he generates off his body, okay? I still think that. And that's a possibility. So, Judge and Vegapunk were working on this back in the day, probably. Vegapunk perfected it, finally, with however he did it, and is now creating these Lunarians that are basically under their control. Possibly, I don't even think they're cyborgs, man. Like, maybe they're not cyborgs. I don't know. And they look just like current parts. Now, here's the other thing. I remember back in the day, I had a video talking about the weapons that Fujitora was talking about. And we go into Madam Shirley's prophecy with Luffy destroying Fishman Island. Now, it could still possibly be he finds the One Piece, destroys the Calm Belt, destroys the Red Line, and then it destroys Fishman Island. I don't think so, because after seeing this, what if they have a copy of Luffy and they send this copy of Luffy to go and destroy Fishman Island, and it looks like Luffy did it to turn him into a terrible person and to possibly exterminate the fishmen? What if that's the case? My mind is blown. With these new weapons, my mind is blown. I cannot wait to get the full backstory on the Seraphims and like find out what the hell is going on here with all this nonsense and like the fact that they look like Boa Hancock and Mihawk and all this stuff. I can't wait to find. This is insane. But anyways, guys, definitely let me know your thoughts down below. Like, dislike the video, subscribe to the channel. Give me your thoughts about the Seraphims. What are your thoughts on all this whole thing? Just it's insane. What are your thoughts on Blackbeard kidnapping Kobe, and also Kobe being the one to help him get his island, the pirate island that he has right now? What do you think about that? And just give me your overall thoughts. This chapter was bananas, and I'm just glad Boa Hancock's alive. She survived thanks to Rayleigh, Blackbeard, and Marines, and I'm all here for it, man. I'm glad she's alive. I don't know what her next move is going to be, but I'm just glad she's okay. Anyways, guys, definitely let me know your thoughts down below. I'll see you on the next chapter. Have a wonderful day. Keep reading One Piece. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.